look drunk.
So here.
Finally! About time. So now on to the next things. Now that I'm leaving Indianapolis Motor Speedway, I am going to start with Culver's, using the BRT system that they have. Then maybe I can try I'm about to say Dairy Queen, but talking about White Castle because they're kind of giving me the Dairy Queen treatment. That's a side story for another day. So just as I expected, there's this being blocked, so that means there will be no bus access there. And mostly they do that just so that way all the motor haulers can leave without, like, say, the presence of traffic. So just a little logistical thing. I remember something like that happening during the NASCAR Cup race at Richmond, where I wanted to take the GRTC bus back home, and I was like, oh yes, this is the perfect time. But no, the bus had to deviate and I was informed of the wrong stop, so I had to take a lift back home after maybe like an hour and 30 minutes because it was ridiculously expensive. So I ain't paying like $100 to go back to a hotel where I know easily that it could have been like $25. Thankfully for Indianapolis and the IndyGo bus network that they use, there's actually two bus systems that they use on two different roads. There's one like behind me that runs on a 30-minute frequency. Then there's like another one that runs on like a much more better frequency. So I'll use the 10 like what I did last time, and then I'll be back home again, literally, at the city. That way I can get my Culvers. And yes, I am walking on the aforementioned bike path. Alright, I'll get back on it. Alright. You don't need to yell at me for that. So we're going to time skip to the transit center, but before we do that, let's do a brief overview of IndyGo's BRT system. I will omit the blue line from this chart due to the line just starting construction. Red line covers University Heights, downtown Indy, and it almost touches Meridian Hills up north, while the purple line covers downtown Indy, goes through the 38th Street corridor, and also passes through the State Fairgrounds, and then it terminates to nearby Fort Harrison Park. So we'll be using 95% of the purple line to Culver. I didn't feel much because I had like a really good conversations with a lot of like people, race fans, and then locals as well. But now I get to take the 92, aka the purple line, which kind of sad knowing the fact that I have to take a purple line from Indianapolis when there's no purple line in Washington, D.C. Yeah. Here we go. First time. It's that quiet. It's literally that quiet. Oh, well, the seats are like in a New York style, so like I'm trying to actually take a picture of like on the outside windows. It's like kind of hard for me to do because I'm not used to doing that. So let's talk about a couple of positives that I have noticed. One, the bus itself, it is a BYD, which is pretty rare to have in this part of the United States because they're mostly in California. These buses are a lot more quieter and they accelerate a lot more quicker compared to the Nova buses and the New Flyers. For dedicated bus lanes, at least 95% of it is going to be bus lanes only. There's just very little instances where you see the buses and the cars mixed together. and that's mostly just for when they have to turn on the stoplight. Also, major points to having the island platform stations rather than like splitting up from one road to the other side of the road. It's a lot more easier to just have like one single station rather than having two opposing ones. Had a little bit of X2 vibes. Not going to get into too much details, maybe until later, but alas, we're fine. Should be close to Culver's. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Alrighty, 2 more stops till Culver's. One thing I did not get a chance to film is that this bus did actually have to make a mandatory stop because we were crossing an active railroad. Yeah. So here I am finally outside of the stations. I can literally see the Culver's right there, which I'll point it out just literally now. There it is. And then let's just take a look at the station because it's like pretty. There's like the map finding for. I like it, not bad. Seats not bad. Why is it that like unnecessarily long? Another thing I gotta mention is like how well lit it is. That's a big plus for me. I don't think Metroways and Flashes have anything like that. Very similar to Richmond's Pulses, except the difference is that Pulse is free. These BRT routes they're a lot longer. It is 9 o'clock, so fingers crossed that they did not close the dining area, because if not, I'm going to be very salty about that. Alright, so I got the deal. Well, the meals, actually. I didn't know what I was getting, but I just found something that looked kind of enticing. This is their special root beer. I really love it. I gave it just like a small sip test and wow. Alright, here we go. First of all, this is amazing. For 14 bucks, I'm sold. Alright, here we go. Yeah, that's really good. That is really good. All right, now for the fries. They're fresh and they're good. I love it. That was the same reaction that I had when I tried some of the Zaxby stuff back at Loudoun County. I wish I'd like say recorded it, but I had a very noticeable blemish that was not good. So my fault for not recording that, but wow, they need to come to DC ASAP. Anyways, right now I'm just rushing to get the bus back to just Indianapolis proper. I was thinking about just going somewhere else, but no, I'm just gonna stay in the center city and then probably just spend whatever time I have like at the Greyhound station, cause yeah. Alright, I'm back from the Julian Carts and Transit Center. Didn't record much of the return back home or at all, just cause I just got way nauseous because I totally forgot that I did not really eat any food for the past few days, and especially when it comes to eating greasy food, like and then with just a mix of all this like bumpy roads and like my goodness. Okay, aside from that, I mean, I'll probably like everything will calm down, but wow, this nighttime vibe is quite interesting. Granted, I've never been to DC at night that many times. Should have. Still can't, basically. It's like you got parts, okay, just regular party vibe at night. Then it's the unfortunate like usage of substances that make people go a little cray-cray. Not just only that, but then you also got like the side of where people don't know how to drive and they kind of realize at last minute, oh yeah, I'm probably going to run over this guy, and then it's like, what is this city? Maybe that's the reason why, just because I don't really go to like cities at nighttime. Still doesn't excuse the fact that like you just got these drivers who think that they're rally stars, that they really think that they could probably beat Alex Palou. I guess that's what I'm seeing. Like, my goodness, like in that bus trip back home from the BRT, I could understand like the bus driver's frustration because like literally like we almost got into like a fender bender. All right then, so I'm gonna be in it grown up. I'm gonna be responsible, and I am going to skip the White Castle and postpone it to my New York trip. I need to
wait.
One, just focus on at least my health, especially when on the train ride home, and knowing how little rough it can be. I feel at least happy that I am able to at least just cover the more important things that I wanted to do, which was obviously go to the race, see as much that I want to see with the multiple perspectives that I wanted to do, try out the IndyGo system, including the BRT, then go to Culver. So I covered a lot of ground at Indianapolis. There's always going to be next time if I ever want to like cover anything else here at Indianapolis. But I'll just spend just a couple of minutes just at least walking this nauseousness off. I assume it's just because of just the amount of greasy food that I just have not consumed in such a long time, and just how turbulent the road is. I guess the final thoughts here while you see the background of lovely Indianapolis. It's gonna be uncomfortable. I mean, to me, I just feel like it's probably uncomfortable, but you might as well just break that. Especially if you lived in the same area and have not really expanded your broad horizons for such a long time. Because I've only stuck with the Route 1 corridor in Alexandria and Annandale for so many years, and then going to different places. That's just a big thing. It's just if you don't want to go and experience these things, you're not gonna learn from it. As opposed to, like, say, if you want to do this and go to these random places, you'll understand it. And then you'll learn from it. My thing is this, like, I feel like at some point you just gotta keep expanding. You just gotta keep exploring. Obviously do it within, like, say, your financial means. Like, what I did, like, say, right now is something that I planned and made sure that I am not putting myself too much into debt to. Same thing with just some other trips that I have done in the past. Just make sure that you have at least, like, say, a supply of money that is, like, stable enough for you to handle. And also, I am in no way, like, say, a professional nor an expert, so if you need to talk to somebody who's more qualified than that, then by all means, go ahead. All in all, I have to say that overall, despite, like I say, its turbulence, like, ultimately, I did enjoy Indianapolis, just for the fact that I did enjoy the racing at the Speedway. I did enjoy exploring new things and then just understanding, like, the contemporary culture of this place. And also going to Culver's, obviously. My goodness. They need to come to DC now. They need to. But yes, this will be the final message here at Indy. You will probably see me on the train or something. And so we've left Indy, and now we're going to head back home to DC. Tune in next time as we take the Cardinal back home again in the DMV.